call the meeting to order. The April 12th, 2021 regular meeting of the City of Coolidge City Council. I'm going to call it to order. We start something new with the Pledge of Allegiance. And the first thing we're going to do is right up here in front, we have a gentleman that went through our Coolidge Youth Council as when he was in high school. And he was in the council and he moved through it, and now he's sitting right here as a representative for the citizens of Coolidge. And one of the things we're trying to do here is get people ready to replace us as time goes on. And so what I've done is I've had conversations with Clara at Imagine Schools, because Imagine Elementary is the one school that no matter what has happened through the COVID situation or even before there were any problems, they're the one school that has always worked with the council on any programs that we wanted to do. Trying to get the younger children involved in the council and in politics in general, as far as participation. It doesn't matter what side they're on or what they believe in, but just to participate. And one of the things that I think needs to be done is we need to get their best and their brightest and have them come to our meetings and see how things work. And what I've done is I've invited one of those tonight to come here and help me with the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm sure she's not nervous because she's very confident. And I know I'm not embarrassing her because she's used to being congratulated because she does well. So I've asked Taya Delfrey tonight to help me with the Pledge of Allegiance. So I'm going to go down there and we're going to start the Pledge of Allegiance together. But her parents, Floyd and Diva, are here. And I want to recognize them because they've raised, well, she happens to be the student body president of Coolidge and Imagine Elementary. So, and she ran and won. And it was a legal election and it was fair. And you won't find many of those in this country left. So I congratulate her. Thank her very much. And I'm going to come down there and do the pledge and we'll get this thing going. Well, you can get over here. They can always see me. They can't always see you. Are you ready? Let's go. Go ahead. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you very much. So hopefully we'll be able to find some of the other elected officials from the local schools to come and help us. But I want to thank you and congratulate you for being the first one. Have a good year and congratulations on winning your election. Okay, let's get this going. Norma, please do the roll.
Yes. Councilmember Eric Daniels?
Here.
Excuse me. Councilmember Tina Kaufman?
Here.
Vice Mayor Steve Hudson?
Here.
Mayor John Thompson?
Here.
Councilmember Jackie Henry?
Here telephonically.
Councilmember Ben Navarro?
Here.
And Councilmember Tatiana Murrieta? Here. Thank you. We have a quorum, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, we have some presentations tonight. Under item 3, the first presentation will be by the Chief Executive Officer of Hope Human Center, Ms. Tammy Abernathy. Welcome.
Thank you, Council. And I'm here with Jolynn Logan, who's our center manager at the Coolidge location here.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to start with the video. Just giving you a brief overview of what we do. I think you should be able to just... Should be able to copy the link straight into the browser and it should work. Yeah, we'll copy the link inside the file and it should play. It's just a YouTube file. So if you do, yeah, and then just put it in your browser.
Come on, Eric, help her out. I know you know how to do that.
Don't let her suffer.
There, it's already there. Yeah. Perfect.
He tried to kill me the last day when I'm going with him. He choked me in front of my daughters. I'm like, thank you for my daughter because she interviewed.
I never want my kids to go through what I went through.
At Hope Women's Center, we serve women in any difficult life situation. We want to meet them exactly where they're at. Whatever it is that she is struggling with, we want to walk alongside her and provide her the resources and tools that she needs to make healthy choices for her future.
I love it here. And the women here at Women's Hope Center are amazing. Like you wouldn't think you could trust anybody. But here, it was way different. You felt a connection. You felt like they're not judging you. That they really, truly love you.
I feel like this is my spiritual vitamin, and it's what I need to live my day-to-day life.
I work right now. I have my apartment. It's not a big apartment, but it's a good apartment. It's my house. And it's a house for my daughters.
The staff and the volunteers, they just pour out this love and you feel so safe.
Coming here has helped me because I've met people with different and similar situations. We've just been going through it together, which has been like the beautiful part.
This is my home away from home. It's a very safe place to come to.
Because that's how they make you feel like you're part of the family.
I have no my current life without Hope Women's Center.
We cannot do the work that we do for the women that we continue to see without your help and your support as our community. Thank you. We just wanted to give you a little glimpse of who we serve and a little bit about what we do, and then we just have a short presentation.
Nuts are one of the healthiest things you can eat. However, some of the most common nuts are
Go to slideshow at the top, Norma. Yep. Up, higher, now to the right, all the way to the right, there you go. And then all the way to the left from the beginning. There you go.
Perfect, thank you. So, oh, I can do it if you, yep. Okay, perfect. Yeah, let's trade places. So we are a trauma-informed care center for women and teen girls facing any difficult life situation. And in all aspects of our services, we are both relational and holistic. We say help for today and hope for tomorrow. So we want to engage women and teen girls in viewing themselves through a lens that really shows them their true value and their worth. We want to encourage them in processing and healing past trauma and loss. A lot of the women and teens that we serve come with significant trauma and loss. And then we want to equip them with tools for making positive choices and breaking unhealthy cycles. We work a lot with helping women break cycles of poverty and abuse. So we say we want to take them from trauma to transformation. So we began as a pregnancy resource center in the East Valley 37 years ago. We opened here in Coolidge in 2013 is our second location. Jolynn has been our center manager here that entire time, and we now have 5 locations, soon to be 6, but across the valley: Apache Junction, Coolidge, Phoenix, West Valley, and Maricopa. And all of them are thriving, but Coolidge in particular sees so many women. And Jolynn's going to talk to you just a little bit about the women that we see here in Coolidge.
So Hope Women's Center Coolidge, COVID-19, and Hope Women's Center. Our women and families struggled during the pandemic. Jobs were lost, food shortages, increase in domestic violence and abuse. So our center seen 3,341 client visits, 4,207 program services, which is our classes, mentoring, and counseling, and 13,975 material resources, which is food, clothing, and toiletries. 95% of our client base reports an annual income under the federal poverty line. 1 in 20 of our clients are homeless. All Hope services are free to any woman, and we welcome a diverse client base. Nearly 100% of our clients experienced some form of child abuse. So we hold many events at our center, but our latest one was our Easter event. And there we handed out 97 meals and 30 Easter baskets to the women and children that come to the center.
Everybody get to see those pictures. Are really cute. So we educate women and teen girls through prenatal, postpartum classes and support group. We do life skills, things like financial help, cooking, ESL, job training, healing from trauma. We try to affect physical, emotional, and spiritual. We do evidence-based parenting classes. We do offer faith-based classes. Women are free to take whatever they want, so they certainly don't have to. We offer anger management, abuse prevention, classes like boundaries and safe people, grief and loss and support groups, classes that focus on teen issues and confidence building. Our services include, I don't think that's the video you saw, our services include pregnancy testing and support, mentoring, crisis counseling, all of the classes, and then every time a woman is taking a class or participating in a program, she earns points, and that's where the material resources are provided. So we need more space. So we are so blessed to be able to use the building that's on the map through the city of Coolidge. We lease this building, but we have quickly run out of space due to the number of women that we are seeing every month. The lines are often out the door, and so we are requesting more space. So I've kind of just, with my own little, not drawn to scale graphics, just drawn for the back for you. We are in a hopes of adding about 1,500 square feet to the back of the building, which would give us another large classroom, additional mentoring rooms, additional bathrooms. Right now we have 1 bathroom. And really be able to continue to serve more women. We want to be able to offer free child care. We do already for the women that come, but our space is really limited. We don't want a woman to have any barrier that would keep her from getting services, so that's why our services are free. There's nothing that would keep her from getting help and assistance from us, and then we didn't want child care to be a barrier. We wanted to offer that as long as she's on site, her child can be there as well. And so we are, with our church partners, the Coolidge community has been amazing to really come alongside and support us. And so with our church partners, our community partners, individual donors, we are raising funds, and our hope would be to build that addition onto this building so that we can serve more women and families here in Coolidge. Well, I already talked myself through the second slide, which is common, but we want to continue to grow. So the renovation would allow the additional classroom space, more mentoring and counseling rooms, expanded material resources in our boutique, and our expanded children's program. And then I wanted Jolynn to do this thank you, because these are just a few of the people that help make it possible for us to serve here.
Yes, so we love serving in Coolidge. We couldn't do what we do without your support. So thank you to the City of Coolidge, the Pinell County Attorney's Office, the Coolidge Churches, the Coolidge Library, Coolidge Rotary Club, the Pinell Power of 100 Women, Coolidge Curves, DCS office, Pinell Hispanic Council, and there's just so many more. The support here has just been amazing.
Thank you for letting us share. We always like to come and thank you all personally for the support, but also to share with you our vision for being able to expand. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions?
No questions.
Okay. No, keep doing your good work. Thank you. And before we get going, I neglected, I knew I had one of these. Let me, Madam President, I need to give you this, if you don't mind stepping up. This is a certificate of recognition presented to you for your participation in the April 12th City of Coolidge City Council meeting. A sincere appreciation for your commitment to serving your school and your community. Okay. We'll move to item 4, presentation and update by Chris Hendricks, managing member of EUSI LLC regarding the Coolidge wastewater treatment facility. Discussion only. Good evening. Norma will know what to do, Chris, don't worry. No.
That costs extra.
Well, first of all, it's rough following a presentation like that where folks are reaching out to make a way for. Sorry, for ladies that are having a hard time. It's good that you guys do that, so thank you. Mr. Mayor, members of the council, a lesser of important thing here is related to the sewer plant. We've got just a few things here for you this evening, and really, we've as you may be aware, the city was issued a notice of opportunity to correct related to some odor issues that we're having there at the treatment plant. Related to that, the city submitted a plan. We provided an update to the department last week, and we're working toward a number of things that were a part of that plan to help mitigate the odors. What we do have, June 14th is a target date for us for a 90-day time frame for some of those things. We're expecting a number of those items within the plan to be met within that time frame. There are some things, if we're purchasing equipment, other things that may fall outside of that 90-day window. ADEQ understands that and realizes that some things may take a little bit longer with that, but we are in regular communication with them related to our activities and the things that are happening there at the treatment facility. You may be aware also that we commenced with some odor study with the company that has set up some fence line monitors along the treatment plant. We're doing some liquid testing for measuring sulfide levels as well as the gaseous levels for the hydrogen sulfide. That is what you smell, like a rotten egg smell, etc. If you go by the treatment plant these days, sometimes it's a little more odoriferous than others. But we're taking steps to really get a baseline of what the source of those are, areas where we can focus those efforts, etc. And so we're embarking on that. I think we're 2 weeks into that, and we have a couple of more weeks that they're working on putting that information together for us. As they come about, more information that may be of concern for us, they're bringing that to our attention. So if there are significant health safety items related to a particular area of the treatment plant, we're made aware of that so that we can inform the staff and ourselves as we're working there to ensure that it's safe for the workers there. So we've got a couple pictures here for reference. On the right-hand side, that's the biofilter up at the Val Vista lift station. We have, obviously, we've had the plant, some weeds and other things have grown in there. This is the biofilter at the wastewater treatment plant. Mr. Mayor, yourself, and our Development Services Director, you guys had a tour of that a couple of weeks ago. And there's, if you can see in the background here, are wood chips and other things that were taken out of this particular basin. And so there's gravel, that's the underlayment here, and that appears to be okay. We've done some cleaning of the underdrain system here that allows the stinky air to come in from other parts of the treatment plant to be treated there. And so we've taken some really good steps there to get mobilized and make some steps to improve that particular area of the treatment plant. We've solicited some pricing for replacement media for that particular unit and expect that here within the next week or so on getting that back in line. Also related to this, we have working with another company for a chemical addition to help with the longer transmission lines for the sewage and to help that the sulfide to stay in the liquid form so that it doesn't come into gaseous form and convert to hydrogen sulfide, which creates the stink. And so Mr. Miller's given us direction to solicit a proposal for that. We've gotten some pricing on that and lead times for that, and so within the next couple of weeks I think we'll be able to implement some things associated with the chemical addition. And our experience and what the vendor is sharing with us is that once that product begins to be fed, we should begin to start seeing results with lower odors and some other things associated with that. So it's not a, hey, we start adding this in 6 months, we hope it gets better. This is something that there's typically an immediate response by adding the product. So these are, if you've ever been up around the treatment plant, you have accumulation of solids that has, the wind has blown this to this particular corner of the lagoon. This is up close of this corner here, there. And so this is pond 3A, I believe, the westernmost pond. And we've begun the profiling of sludge within the basins. And we have the first two, we have anywhere from as little as 6 inches of clear water in the unit, and these units are 12 to 13 feet deep. So over years, and what happens in a lagoon plant like this is the solids are not mechanically removed. They're in a closed unit, and so those accumulate over time. We did see areas that were 3 to 4 feet of clear water in that same lagoon, so it varies depending on where you're at. But we spent some time today profiling those to give us a better idea. We collected sludge samples from those basins today for analysis to see if the biosolids from those lagoons could be used in a beneficial manner. And so there are guidelines by the EPA that are set up, and if we fit within those, that gives us more options for disposal, for cleaning out the lagoons. And so a couple of things that we've done initially here to help mitigate the odors is we've adjusted some of the operating levels in one of the main pump station at the treatment plant to limit the cascading that happens, because anytime the sewage falls, it will off gas, and that's what creates the odors. So we're looking through that. We've been reviewing the operational and maintenance manuals, looking at the site plans and some other things in conjunction with the permits to see where we're at and what we can use. Can we shut basins off to do maintenance and still treat sewage in the other portions of the treatment plant? So we've developed some daily walkthrough sheets for the guys to calculate hours for different pieces of components and things, make sure that we're regularly checking those items and can stay up on the maintenance activities associated with that. Today we had a outside company that does vacuum services. We're not vacuum services, but they have a high capacity vacuum truck that can help suck the debris off that is accumulated in the lift stations to help mitigate anything that happens to be at the particular pump station. So we are working on several different things. As we have walked around the treatment plant, these are a number of, if you remember a couple of slides back, these units right here are floating aerators. It's just a reverse propeller, sucks the water up, spreads it out to create aeration. And we have a number of units that are here where the motor has failed, or there's some other component that is not working with that. So we're looking at these units. This base and this other part is just fine. If we need to get a new motor, we can get a new motor and be able to reinstitute it into the service. There are some deferred maintenance related to things. We've got sunshades that the wind has blown off or has ripped and that sort of thing. So we're working with the staff on a number of those things related to housekeeping, just some other things that a fresh set of eyes for the staff, and taking some time to walk Juan through that. He's been doing quite well. The things we've asked him to do, he has done those and is learning quick. And so that's encouraging, because sometimes we come in and folks need a little more encouragement than others, and he's not needed a lot of encouragement. So it's been a good partnership thus far, and that's what I have at this stage. So if you guys have any questions, or gals have questions for me, I'd be happy to answer those as I'm able.
It was very interesting, Chris. Thank you. Does anybody up here have any questions?
I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned that you had a vac truck lined up, or you're talking to somebody with the vac truck to suck that sludge out. Can you share who that company is?
Yeah, that company is called Garth Industries. They're a company that has provided these. Their family was actually Overly's vacuum service. And they sold their company, and then they've reformed this business. They've been providing vacuum services and septic tank services for 30 plus years. Our family knew them and didn't know that they had started a new business. And in recent months, we've made contact with them to come out, and they've provided their hourly rates as consistent with what the other industry is, and have the capability to come in and help us out.
Okay, and when that sludge is removed, or prior to removal, it's going to be tested for any kind of hazardous material, substance, waste, or whatever, so you do a proper disposal on that?
Yes, ma'am. They're actually going to only be at the lift stations, taking the grease and the stuff that floats on top out of the lift stations. Most of that is non-hazardous. They have a profile set up with the landfills for delivery of that, and so that's how that gets handled. Could be Butterfield. Picacho also takes some, but there's a couple different. They're being very particular about how much they take and when they take it.
Okay, thank you.
I know the city has a vacuum truck. Would this be something that they could do, or is it because of the material and how they have to dump it at the landfill, or any issue that it would have with our employees not be able to do it?
Yeah, the city does have a unit, and what this initial wave that we're wanting and needing to get done to help with the notice from ADEQ was to come in with somebody that has more capacity to do it. What we will do is when they're there doing that work, we certainly will take a look. Okay, this is how we do it, and this is how we could do it, and then we can put it in our rotation of regular routine maintenance and set up a similar deal where we would come in, pull it. Their truck has a little bit more capacity than ours has, so making that haul, we may have to make 2 trips where theirs would be a single trip. So there's some cost benefit on a larger vehicle, but from a standpoint of capability and having the piece of equipment, yes, you have that. There will be some things, the current truck that you have, as we talked with Zach and your fleet maintenance, there are some things that we need to work with on that unit, but you do have the capability, and it is something that we could put within a regular maintenance cycle once we get this initial effort done. then we have a baseline to work from, and we say, okay, this is the schedule. Some may need it once a month, some may need it twice a year, and those are things that we will learn starting from a clean slate. Does that help you, sir?
Yes, yes it does.
How many people does it take to operate a vac truck when they're out there either cleaning a line or lifting grease out of a lift station?
Yeah, typically that is 2 people. If you have a confined space where you've actually got to enter the wet well or the manhole or something like that, that would be a 3-person crew, and those folks would need to be certified for confined space entry. And these folks with this company have that certification, and if they are entering, they will follow those guidelines of proper entry. But usually 2, because if you may have some traffic control depending on where you're jetting and doing the other work, etc. So typically there's 2 people.
I had a couple other questions. You were saying that we might possibly need some more equipment to help mitigate the smells and everything that's going on. What kind of equipment are we talking about?
The equipment is, you'll need a couple of tanks for bulk chemical storage, and then some chemical feed pumps. So some electrical work will need to be done on site at the treatment plant, and then also at one of the lift stations. They'll bring in some bulk tanks for the equipment and the mixing equipment, and that way that chemical, it is very high solids, and so it has to be mixed all of the time, and is quite effective at what it does. But those are the main components associated with that.
Okay. And then you were showing the biofilters on there. How often should those biofilters be serviced?
Typically, your wood chips could be on a 3 to maybe a 5-year rotation. Certainly on an annual basis, the operator would go in and turn the wood chips with the pitchfork to keep them loose and free so they don't blind up. What we actually had like 3 different layers, pretty good stuff, and then stuff that would make really good compost for your garden. Very, very dense and compacted. And so you would be on a 3 to a 5-year window for probably on the 3-year based on the climate and other things. And then another media that we're considering is an inert. It's more like gradation of sand and gravel, and that is on an order of magnitude probably 10 to 15-year cycle for replacement. In fact, City of Tempe is just doing replacement on one of their lift stations. They had that media in, I believe, over 20 years. And it's just so laden with sulfide that they have to take it out, put new stuff in.
And then just overall, how's the maintenance been on the plant, in your opinion?
Groundskeeping and other things, it's in better condition than some of the treatment plants that we have seen. But related to regular maintenance on the aerators and other things, it appears that they would run until they would quit. They would pull aside, put a new motor on, put it back in, and do that. Being that we didn't have a lot of time with the prior folks for kind of handoff, it was a little bit hard to kind of see what their maintenance schedule was, etc. But there are some things that we're just working in on a regular routine for a schedule and that sort of thing for taking care of things.
That's all I have.
Anybody else? How about up front, Eric? Tatiana? Well, that was a very diplomatic answer, Chris. Thank you. I think it's pretty easy to see what their maintenance schedule was. Yeah. Anyway, the one question that's on my mind, and I know it's on a lot of people that have contacted me, especially from Heartland Ranch, is don't run off. This is for you. You're starting to act like a city manager now. When can we actually see some results? I mean, I've been out there. I've seen what you guys are up against. I know that you guys are doing all kinds of, one process leads to another process, which leads to another one, and you need to know where everything's happening and the major smells are coming from and how you're going to tackle that. But people want to know, and I'm one of them, is when can we expect to see some action, some results, maybe because when it gets hot, it gets worse.
Yeah, and what we're seeing right now, Mr. Mayor, is that with the chemical supplier, the pumps have a 2-week delivery time from the time that we say go. The chemical is readily available. They've indicated that they could bring it in drums so that when the chemical pumps show up, while we're waiting for the tanks to be fabricated and shipped, those have a 6 to 8 week time frame for the tanks to show up. What they could do is bring in drums and set up the feed pumps to begin to feed the chemical. So as early as probably within the next month, I could confidently say we would expect to start to see improvement there, but that's predicated on when the equipment shows up from our vendors and getting those things implemented.
Well, I, for one, would like to see it happen as soon as possible.
Okay.
So I know there's a lot of people that live closer to there than I do that would really like to see it happen. So
yep.
I think it's gone on long enough. I think we've discovered what the problems, some of the problems were. I mean, you guys have got a lot of work to do. I appreciate the work you've done. And you guys have done a good job. And I think there's other things you'll discover, but if we can start working on the solution while we're still working on determining the problem, we're going to be money ahead. And I think it's important that we get moving on solving the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And parallel tracking those things, and we'll work closely with Mr. Miller and Mr. Garcia on moving forward with those things to implement that as soon as we can.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Mr. Mayor, one of the things that that he's talking about here is something that we've not done at the plant ever, and that is to put the chemical in the system. We've not done that. That's not been part of our treatment process, and it's not an inexpensive proposition, but it's something that's necessary. And he was talking earlier about quantified as a certain amount of this chemical that you have to put in for a certain number of gallons of effluent, and it's all measured out. And I'm sure there'll be some testing of how effective it is, whether we need to add more or a little less. But given the volume of effluent that we treat our plant, we kind of have a general idea of the amount of chemical that needs to go in to increase the pH in the effluent to reduce the hydrogen sulfide gases. And so it is something that will be new to our process, and we'll add an item into our budget to rectify that problem.
I don't see a problem with that. We need to fix the problem.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Okay, anybody? You good?
Yeah.
Tatiana, I see you. Yeah, okay, your head's working. Okay. Jackie, are you still there?
I'm still here, Mayor.
Any questions?
No.
Okay, thank you. Okay, then we will move on to presentations and into approval of minutes, discussion and action. Item 5, City Council Study Sessions, February 21st, 2021. Item 6, City Council Regular Meeting, March 8th, 2021. And item 7, City Council Meeting, Regular Meeting, March 22nd, 2021. Any corrections? Anything we need to change on these minutes?
No.
If there's nothing, I need a motion to act.
Mayor, if there's no further discussion, I'll make a motion we approve the minutes as read.
Second?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. Business items for consent. Is there any item on this consent agenda that any member of the council wants to take out for individual consideration?
No.
No, sir.
No, sir. No.
Tatiana, no? Okay, then here we go. Item 8, consider approval of cooperative purchasing agreement for a new Caterpillar backhoe from Empire Southwest, LLC, a Delaware limited liability company, and a final purchase amount of $103,683.03 from Empire Caterpillar for the Public Works Street Division, utilizing a City of Tucson contract number 161534, procured through the SAVE Cooperative, utilizing Pinal County road tax funds and waiving the sealed bid requirements in the best interest of the city. Item 9. Consider approval of entering into an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Coolidge and the Gila River Indian Community for a mutual aid response for fire protection and other emergencies. Item 10, consider approval of ratifying the submission of an application for and spending of Proposition 207 Funding Grant Award from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety for $66,325.54 for the purchase of a DUI and traffic enforcement vehicle. Item 11, consider approval of entering into a memorandum of understanding between the Public Library Association, a division of the American Library Association, and the City of Coolidge for acceptance of an inclusive internship initiative grant to hire a summer intern at the Coolidge Public Library, authorizing the mayor to execute the necessary documents. Item 12, consider approval of entering into a programmatic agreement between the City of Coolidge and Arizona State Historical Preservation Office regarding HUD and ADOH funded program activities. Item 13, resolution number 21-02, a resolution of the mayor and the City Council of the City of Coolidge, Arizona, adopting a fair housing policy, making known its commitment to the principle of fair housing, and describing actions it shall undertake to affirmatively further fair housing. Item 14, consider approval of entering into a master subscription agreement and addendum between the City of Coolidge and Grancias LLC for continued use, I guess it's Grancias products and services, as it relates to the IQM2 automated agenda menu track program. And item 15, consider approval of entering into an amendment to professional services agreement between the City of Coolidge and Gary L. Johnson and Associates for the purpose of extending the terms from April 1st, 2020 through March 31st, 2022, for the purpose of providing continued employee benefit brokerage consulting services to the City of Coolidge. Okay, is there a motion?
Mayor,
Yes.
I move to approve items 8 through 15 as read.
Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, Norma.
Councilmember Henry,
Yes.
Councilmember Navarro,
Yes.
Councilmember Murrieta,
Yes.
Councilmember Daniels,
Yes.
Councilmember Kaufman,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hudson,
Yes.
and Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move into business under regular items, which there are none. We'll move into report from the mayor and council and city manager. Tina?
Nothing to report.
I got to see the mayor out at the Little League opening ceremonies, and that was a good time watching him almost make it across the plate. I mean, he was...
It got there.
It got there.
Got there.
It got there. That's true. It got there.
Didn't want to hurt any kids.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
safety first. That's what matters.
I know it.
But but got to enjoy that. Me and the wife were out walking. We walked by the pool. It is really coming along. That is a heck of a slide that's out there. I know everybody's a flooder. I just think, man, where was that when I was a kid growing up? I would have killed for that. And then
We had speed canal.
yeah, we had speed canal. That's living right there. Just gave me a flashback for a little bit. But also got to check out all the chip roads that are going on out there. Saw that you guys got the first chip down. Looks really good out there. I know everybody's a heck of a lot happier. They're not eating near as much dirt. That is for sure. So it looks good. I know they'll be glad when the second chip goes down and it's done and everything's swept and they don't have to worry about that anymore. But it's looking good out there. So all in all, I think things have been going pretty well, except for that pitch.
Thank you. Hey, nothing wrong with that pitch. Jackie, we skipped over you. I didn't see you sitting there, but there you are. Do you have anything to add?
No, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. All right, Eric?
No, I have nothing.
Tatiana?
I don't have anything.
Vice Mayor?
I have nothing to add, Mayor.
Ooh, okay then. Mr. Miller?
Yeah, I'd like to echo what Councilman Navarro said. We do have one last little application over the top of both chips, and that'll be the HA5. That'll make those roads sing. They'll look a lot nicer, look a little more like pavement rather than chips, but it's a beautiful addition into that neighborhood to see those roads fixed the way they are right now. We also had in our staff meeting today talking to Ricky Lapaya. We're probably going to shoot for Friday, May 28th as the date. We'll try to have a ribbon cutting for the new water slide, the water park. So we'll shoot for that Friday, the 28th of
City
May.
Council gets to be the first people going down the slide.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably be Ben.
Maybe form a whole line, a train.
I'll start stretching out now.
Yeah. Better start climbing the ladder now so you can make it by the end of May.
Might pull a hammer.
We had our last fly-in for the year, pretty well attended. I sure want to thank the Lions Club for all the work that they do out there every year, serving those great breakfasts and doing what they do. So I know the mayor is out there every month, and people really appreciate that. It's really kind of fun to get out there and talk to the people that express their appreciation and love for that fly-in. Talk to a lot of business people that that may or may not move here someday or have moved their business here because of that fly-in. So it's a really good driver of economic development potential. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. I'm going to make up for these other guys. I attended the Cavett Strategic Planning 5-Year Plan meeting, which was exciting. And they do have things going on. I think Cavett's going to expand another time or two. They actually have plans in right now to 2 more expansions at Cavett, so that's a good sign. Attended the Public Safety, both Police and Fire Retirement Board meetings. Thanks to Councilman Navarro, I didn't throw the 90-mile-an-hour fastball, but I did get the first pitch out at the Little League season this year. Even more dangerous than that, I attended the Easter egg hunt at Kenilworth and almost got trampled by a herd of young Easter egg hunters. Actually, Councilmember Daniels was there with me, and being a young council member, he could outrun them. I just had to hit the deck. Attended the fly-in, the last fly-in of the year with Mr. Miller. The ribbon cutting for the Print and Pack, which welcome to Coolidge. That's Jack Stonebreaker's old outfit, and they do a pretty good job, so I'm glad they're here. And Mr. Miller and I had a lunch with the county manager and one of his deputy county managers, Himanshu Patel, last week, and discussed some items with them. Also, I want to, of course, I think all of our people do a pretty good job. I want to thank Gilbert Lopez for our state legislatures somehow get the idea that they want to run all the cities and do their job too. And they come up with some great ideas. And this last week, we spent a lot of time on the phones trying to convince them that some of those ideas aren't as good as they think they are, at least for the cities and even the county sometimes for their pocketbook. So I just wanted to mention that Gilbert is not only is our economic development guy, he's also our official lobbyist. And so he spends time talking to them about bills that are going to be harmful to the cities. So I think we've been fairly successful, but you never know. It's not over, certainly until it's over. And the last thing I'll say, because I know Vice Mayor Hudson's giving me the eye. I want to thank our road crews for hanging in over there in that subdivision where, they'd do something and then somebody would come in and vandalize it during the night or drive through it, mess up the pavement or mess up the work. It's bad enough doing it once and then you got to do it twice or 3 times. And I know there were a lot of people over there in that subdivision complaining on social media. And I just want to say that that's a shame. for many years, we couldn't afford to pave that road, those roads, that subdivision. And now we're finally trying to do it, and those guys are doing the best job they can, and people are tearing up their work. And so that kind of slows things down, and it takes work away because our police go over there, try to find out who's doing it, and it takes them away from doing what they really should be doing. So I just want to congratulate our road crews for doing a good job, and all the city employees for doing what they do. So that's it. Need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you.